Hello, welcome to An Imperfectly Perfect Life with me, Shari Leid. We're going to go back a bit this week. If you were following along this past spring and summer when I was looking for a new home, a new city to live in, I had a production company following me as I prepared to move from Seattle to move to Dallas, and all of the ups and downs and the excitement and the fears, everything was being documented. And I got here, and you may have been wondering, okay, are we going to get to see how this all ended up? So thank you for your patience. I arrived September 26th, and since that time, I have to say my calendar's been really full here, and I explain why in the video. Also, the production company, they came in, they paid me a visit at my house about 3 weeks after I moved in. So if you're watching on videos, you'll see footage of my new home. And it's more moved in now. I have some of the walls filled now that aren't in the video and things put away. But it'll give you a real sense of whether or not Dallas is feeling like home. So thank you very much. And thank you for all of your support through this transition. I didn't feel like I was doing it alone with all the messages I received and all the emails of support, actually, and messages, personal messages of support from women I don't know who told me that my move was encouraging them to be able to make changes in their lives. So here we go. I hope you enjoy. I arrived in Dallas September 26th, one-way ticket, and I flew here. I spent maybe 30 hours here in Dallas total and bought a house. And I think it wasn't really quite a reality for me until I got here on September 26th and thought, oh my goodness, I actually did it. Here I am. And I have to tell you, it feels like home. Hey guys, welcome to Dallas. Come on in. I came here without any anchor, without any roots. I know a couple of people, they don't live in Dallas proper, and they're younger than me, different stages of life. So I knew I wanted to make friends and network and connect with people here. So I started to do it in Seattle before I even got here. I changed my LinkedIn, all my social media to Dallas, so that in my mind, I was already here. Come on, buddies. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Okay, this is the first time I've had a fenced backyard. It's been so great for the dogs. They love it here. And I started to join groups. I joined an amazing group called C-Suites Network. I joined a group called Leadership Global. And another one, it's Success North Dallas. And all of these groups, these three groups, I've met so many amazing people. And the great thing is I'm not just meeting them. They're saying, how can I help you? And they're connecting me to other people. In fact, I'm going to my first black tie event in Dallas this Saturday. So this is the biggest piece I moved from Seattle. This base, it's a marble base and it weighs 600 pounds. Trying to figure out where to put it here. There was a big light that was hanging and I was trying to center it, and finally I thought, what am I doing? Let it be easy. And for $50, remove the light and ta-da, the table fits. When I did my 50 States project in 2023, when I traveled across the US and met with people, I had never visited the South before. And so there's a thing in Seattle called Seattle Freeze. It's in Wikipedia, so I think that makes it official. But there have been people who have visited or moved to Seattle saying it's really hard to meet people. And what I found during my travels across the US, I understood that Seattle Freeze versus the culture here in the South. That Southern hospitality, there's a reason they say that, and I found it to be true. So this is the second floor of the house, and it was really important for me to find a place that had 2 additional rooms for both of my kids. Not that they live here, but I promised them that they would always have a place to land. One of the reasons I moved out of Washington State is I really wanted to own a home. And during my divorce, we sold our family home. I went into a rental for a while, and rentals work great for a lot of people, and I understand that. for me, I just really wanted a home that I could say was mine. So this actually is the 4th home I've owned, but the first home I've owned by myself. And looking for a home, I knew, my kids are in their 20s, they don't live with me, but I promised them they would always have a place to land. And so it's really important for me to find a home that had at least 3 bedrooms in it, and this home has it. But when I was first looking for homes, to tell you the truth, I was letting my ego get involved because I came from a pretty grand home in Seattle. Our family home was a really nice house that we had remodeled. In fact, I wasn't able to bring my grand piano here because it doesn't fit. And I had this idea of what this house should look like because I want everyone to see that I was doing okay still. And suddenly I realized that was my ego. I didn't need a house that size. I did not need... I can't even swim, so I don't even know why I was looking at houses with swimming pools, And so I'm so glad. My real estate agent, Janelle McCandles, she helped me find this house. It's a new build. I've never been in a new build before, which means there's a warranty on just about everything for a year. No surprise expenses. It happens to have a private dog park right next door, literally adjacent to my house, which has been so easy with these 2 dogs that I have a hard time controlling. So everything is just working out. Here's my office, and I have still stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to store stuff. But this is where I have my Zoom calls with clients, where I do podcast recording, interviews, meetings. Everything happens right there. I seem to be meeting the right people. I actually was going to look at a suburb of Dallas. So if you've never been to Dallas, when people say they live in Dallas, they can be talking about a place that's almost an hour drive away. This whole area is absolutely huge coming from Seattle. So I was going to live in one of the suburbs. I was looking at Plano, which isn't too far away from where I am now. And I met someone for just a hot minute, but he said, "Why are you moving out to the suburbs where people have families? My goodness, you're single for the first time in your life in a long time. Move into the city." And I'm so glad that I met him and he said that, and I found a place in the city. Okay, so here's the main bedroom, and I have pictures of my kids on the wall. I have artwork on the wall, huge bathroom, and walk-in closet. To be honest with you, last week was a hard week. So I ended up having to buy 2 tires in 1 week on 2 different days. And one of the tires actually, they had put on the wrong place in the car. So that was a mess. And I had a speaking engagement in Houston, so I had to get that done. And in Houston, I also had an appointment at MD Anderson, which is the cancer center. As many of you know, I'm a cancer survivor. I am 7, almost 8 years cancer-free. But man, switching your care from Fred Hutch in Seattle to MD Anderson's great, but you realize how much trust, I realized how much trust I built up in Fred Hutch, and to start all over again, that took a bit of a hit. And in addition, my dogs, I boarded them for the first time, and we had a little bit of a nightmare when I boarded them. I'm changing that, but last week was tough, and for the first time I thought, wow, did I do the right thing? Here I am, having trouble with my dogs, trying to board them, having an issue. I have nobody to pick them up. I'm, attending MD Anderson, which is 4 hours away from Dallas. Did I make the wrong decision? And driving home, though, I got to this house and I thought, I got my dogs, they're okay. I thought, no, this feels like home. One thing that I'm really excited about that I've started here in Dallas is I have this Flip the Box Women's Retreat. That's March 27th through the 29th. And a ton of mentors here helping me create this retreat. I basically created every piece of a retreat before without it being a retreat. So I've been really, really excited as women enroll in this, and starting a new career here in Dallas, speaking as well. It's a 3-day retreat in Frisco at that house, and it's a women's retreat that they're staying there. As a keynote speaker, I talk about connection, finding connection to self, career, and community, and that's the bare bones of it. The best advice I can give anybody who's thinking of starting all over again or is not sure what to do next, one question I always ask is, are you letting a good life stop you from a great life? And I had a really good life, but honestly, now I have a great life. And don't let ugly beginnings stop you from moving forward, because it's not always going to be pretty, but ugly beginnings turn into something beautiful.